It's Marcella and Siobhan as your unholy rave MCs. Overdriven guitars, flangers swirling, then boom, piano breakdown drops you straight onto a sweaty Chicago dance floor.
Light on lyrics, heavy on vibe, pure release. The ecstatic aftershock to Stay's gothic drama.
This is the Marxists at the Movies podcast.
Marxists at the movies, bright and raw, breaking through the reels to rewrite the law. Workers of the world in every frame, changing the credits, rewriting the name.
Welcome to Marxists at the Movies. We're clutching our pomanders as we speak. I'm Edward Michael Francis.
And I'm also Edward Michael Francis. No relation, except to myself and the fiend below, as Willie S. himself would say.
Today's episode is a special Marxists at the Music analysis of the 1992 album Hormonally Yours by Shakespeare's sister,
Yay!
Which we're calling Letters from the Fainting Couch. The full article is already up on Patreon if you want to read along, and yes, there's a website too. But we'll save the shameless plug for later in the show.
We also proudly use generative AI in many parts of this production.
Yes.
Not as a replacement for art, but as a tool to democratize it.
Correct.
To kick down the gates and to amplify voices that capitalism would rather ignore. And we're not afraid to say it out loud.
Just like we're not afraid to say that our revolutionary feline companion, Myron Rosander Francis, has been applying way too much eyeliner for a cat their age. You look like a tart, Myron. But then again, so did everyone in Shakespeare's sister, and it worked for them.
That cat is teaching us faster than Lenin ever could.
Cue the sting. Picture it. Sicily, 1921.
Wrong early 90s reference, silly.
Oh, right. Picture it. 1992. Adult contemporary is gasping its last breaths like Juliet after her final nightcap. Madonna is shocking the suburbs with erotica. And Nirvana just set fire to Top 40 radio.
And in the middle of all that noise, here comes Siobhan Fahey and Marcella Detroit, looking like they just wandered out of a Hammer horror marathon.
Divas.
Eye makeup smeared, guitars cranked, dragging goth glam into the mainstream whether anyone asked for it or not.
Fahey had just left Bananarama. Detroit was this powerhouse vocalist, and together they became Shakespeare's sister.
Righteous.
Their second album, Hormonally Yours, was literally shaped by transformation. Both of them were pregnant while recording it.
Which makes sense because the record is this intoxicating mix of camp, melodrama, and razor-sharp hooks.
Correct.
It's like girl group harmonies put through a blender of black leather and torch song theatrics.
And then there's Stay.
Yes.
The single that didn't just hit number 1 in the UK, it camped for 8 straight weeks.
See what we did there?
Indeed.
With a video so gothic and surreal, it scarred an entire generation of MTV kids like Titus Andronicus's horrors.
This was not background music.
No, this was a fever dream.
Exactly.
Part feminist scream, part Macbeth with mascara, and all gestation-fueled drama. All right, let's start with how this album even entered our lives.
Okay.
We didn't actually hear Stay when it first hit the US charts.
That's right.
We caught it sideways on a cassette we taped off B96. And right as Siobhan swept in like the smoky banshee she is, we stopped the tape.
Womp womp.
That was all we had. Just a glimpse of that insane textural change. But we were hooked.
That's very us, stopping the recording at the best part.
Right? But that's what made it feel like buried treasure. One tiny scrap and suddenly we were obsessed.
Quite right.
We needed to hear the whole thing. And Chicago radio, Satan bless it, kept feeding us.
Chicago radio really is legendary.
Indeed.
WGN with the marathon talk shows, B96 pounding house and Eurodance.
Oh, yeah.
Q101 breaking alternative before anyone else caught on. WBBM with the machine gun news updates.
Solid.
And WFMT dropping classical on demand.
Oh, and don't forget WNUA 95.5 smooth jazz.
No, I'm going to forget that one right now, thank you.
Fair enough. It was a buffet. We could spin the dial and get every cultural meal we wanted.
The best.
Honestly, maybe only New York or LA could compete, but even then, Chicago gave them a run.
Totally.
Growing up with that spoiled us forever.
And we held on to that tape, right?
For years. We didn't actually buy the album until a decade later when Amazon and being at college suddenly meant we could own practically anything. But when we did, it never left rotation.
This is one that made all of those 3-hour trips to drum and bugle corps rehearsals bearable.
Bearable and memorable. You can still hear the mix of exhaustion and adrenaline, radio crank, and Siobhan and Marcella turning the back seat into a Macbeth for Mallrats. Just for us.
Hormonally Yours first dropped, critics honestly didn't know what to do with it.
They did not.
Some called it rich and fearless. Others just looked at the gothic meets dance floor vibe and went, huh.
Yeah, AllMusic eventually crowned it as, quote, a beautifully quirky, emotionally rich, nearly flawless pop record. But back then, NME was sitting there handing out a 5 out of 10 like it was confused homework.
It's that old problem. Critics can't decide if something is serious art or just overblown theatrics, so they split the difference and, as Shakespeare warned, let one man's censure outweigh a whole theater.
Meanwhile, the listeners knew.
They did.
Fans latched onto it right away because it had bite and drama in equal measure.
And that's what let it grow over the years into an underground classic.
Indeed.
A dark little pop artifact.
One of those records that feels like a secret you carry around.
Hello.
Until you meet another fan who lights up and says, "Oh my dark lord below, you know that one too."
All right, let's go track by track, or mood swing by swing.
Do it.
Track 1, Goodbye Cruel World. Even the comma in the title feels like the edge of a cliff.
Quite right.
This is the hand to the forehead falling dramatically on the crushed velvet divan.
That's the whole vibe of the record, right? A glorious queer gasp of camp. The opening lyric, "She likes to wake up and just fake it," sets the tone immediately.
Correct.
It's about concealment, playing a part,
Yes.
living in costume.
But Siobhan is claiming her agency too.
Oh, yeah?
Bye, my old friend. It took some time, but here I am.
Nice.
It's glittery and ironic all at once. A dynamic thesis statement for the whole album.
Then track 2, Are We in Love Yet? A mid-tempo groove wrapped in wah-wah fuzz guitar.
Love it.
First lyric hits you right in the face.
Smack.
It's just another day in this crazy place. Did you ever feel like you're losing the race?
And instead of love as some private, tortured ordeal, it frames it as traveling together, walking the long road as equals.
Wow.
That is, quite simply, collectivism. Very communist love song energy.
Exactly. Simple lyrics, but effective.
Completely.
Then we slide into track 3, I Don't Care, which comes in hot with a whammy bar.
Probably the funkiest cut on an already funk-laden album. Flanger sounds simmering underneath, organ wheezing in the back. It's a punk rock reggae middle finger.
Like Shakespeare always said, it's my thing.
Shakespeare said that.
Shakespeare, Shaka Khan, is there really a difference?
Point taken.
And that opening lyric is one of the best on the whole album.
Which is?
Walking through the rooms in my head, I came across your image. The song is messy, overdriven, half washed out, and it's glorious.
Then track 4, My 16th Apology. It opens straight on vulnerability. The things I've said about you, maybe we could work it out someday.
Yeah, radical honesty to the point of self-destruction.
Right?
Do I have to go down on my knees for you?
Right.
Siobhan isn't just apologizing, she's almost parodying the act of apologizing.
And musically, it's so lush. Marimba backgrounds, dainty pizzicato strings, almost a Motown polish to the arrangement.
But the title says it all. A 14th apology, tragic. A 15th, pathetic. But a 16th apology? Somebody call John Milton. We've stumbled into Paradise Lost, the sequel.
We'll be right back.
Each flickers with a revolutionary
diving straight into track 5, Emotional Thing.
Oh, yeah.
It opens with these stabbing synths, mysterious and suspicious, like something dangerous is hiding in the mix.
Yeah, it feels uncertain at first. Then the groove kicks in and suddenly we're in this unexpected jungle trance zone.
Quite.
By the time that harmonica drops for the chorus, we're already dancing the feelings away.
And the gospel influences are right there, not just in the vocal delivery, but the instrumentation too. They take us straight to church. The church of dramatic asides.
Then comes track 6, the magnum opus, Stay. And the rare one where Marcella actually takes the lead for a good chunk.
Loaded with come here, go away imagery. Wrap me up in chains, but if you try to go alone, don't think I'll understand.
There it is.
Practically Hamlet in song form.
Yeah, then Siobhan crashes in like 6 films of nicotine coating the devil's ass crack. You'd better hope and pray that you make it safe back to your own world. The track starts ethereal and ends as a full-blown exorcism.
It's definitely a hot and cold act. Angel against Banshee. The perfect illustration of the concept of stay.
And then the release valve, track 7, Black Sky.
Yes.
It opens ominous, then throws you into a fevered dance beat with its mantra, come on, tune in to the life. Black Sky, Blue World, Green Eyes.
It's Marcella and Siobhan as your unholy rave MCs. Overdriven guitars, flangers swirling, then boom, piano breakdown drops you straight onto a sweaty Chicago dance floor.
Light on lyrics, heavy on vibe, pure release. The ecstatic aftershock to Stay's gothic drama.
And then track 8, Let Me Entertain You. It sounds at first like a takedown. She's the queen of cliches, lit from the highest tower.
But then they flip it.
They do.
Let me entertain you. Instead of mockery, it's compassion. Like they're saying, put the mask down. Rest. We'll shoulder the performance for you.
Even as they ask, is your soul for hire? Which is brutal, but it's not the labor they're after.
Oh no.
It's the vulnerable self hiding underneath.
And musically, it's ahead of its time. A reggae-leaning groove, African textures, whistling flutes, breathy choruses. It's a sound you wouldn't hear echoed back in indie mainstream until the 2010s.
Like, who do they think they are? A 90s Vampire Weekend?
Please. These grooves had tenure before Ezra Koenig was even in homeroom. Track 9, The Trouble with Andre. This one is the real takedown.
Truth.
2 friends gossiping in hushed tones, circling around Andre like vultures. Like Brutus and Cassius sharpening their knives.
And the indictment is brutal. The trouble with Andre is he's a liar. That's it. No metaphor, no softening, just liar. Another lyrical highlight that comes right out of the Sheryl Crow catalog of devastating one-liners. Some people say he has a death wish. Trouble is, he tends to agree.
Somebody quick, call Fiona Apple and let her know that Shakespeare's sister took her job as sardonic poet in residence. And musically, it's genius. The whole track orbits around this little synth kiss. A tiny electronic zap that punctuates the beat.
Indeed.
Like Andre himself, an energy vampire zapping the room one paper cut at a time.
Then track 10, Catwoman. This is pure Siobhan in character. I'm a Catwoman from the moon. It's sultry, comic book, and claws out.
And the production purrs with menace. Flanged guitars, thick synth pads, gated drums snapping like a whip. Even the portamentos, those sliding pitch bends, keep pulling the rug out.
Don't forget those synth meows. Playful, unhinged, the perfect cherry on top of her glam goth cosplay.
Then track 11, Moonchild, which feels like a mood swing into confession.
That's perfect.
Sometimes I feel like an alien. You can hear the ache of isolation right away.
But it's also consoling.
It is.
There's a moonchild for everyone. A little moonchild. You're not the only one. And for the first time, acoustic guitars show up, grounding everything with warmth. Like Cordelia in the storm.
Meanwhile, mournful synths swirl around like cosmic weather.
Appropriate.
It's alienation turning into connection. Distance becoming perspective.
And then track 12. Hello, turn your radio on. The album closes with a flare fired into the void. We're bingo numbers and our names are obsolete. That's the dread right there. It's Cyrano de Bergerac swinging his sword at the stars.
But the chorus pleads, hello, hello, turn your radio on. Is there anybody out there?
Real.
It's so desperate and so optimistic at the same time.
And musically, it's almost a ballad.
Almost.
Bright piano, open chords, a lift that makes it one of the album's most beautiful moments.
Optimistic even in its despair. Honestly, if I were the world,
Hello.
I'd listen.
Friends, comrades, if you want more of this, like ghosts, sword fights, and bawdy jokes the groundlings couldn't get enough of, you can head over to patreon.com/Cinemarchmedia.
And check out the website at www.cinemarchmedia.com.
We've got 2 podcasts, The Marching Revolution and Marxists at the Movies, and both of them live there.
If you join Patreon at the $6 tier, you get early access to articles and
The
news.
$10 tier gives you all that, plus early audio, bonus content, and behind-the-scenes extras.
And of course, both tiers include surprise cameos from Myron the Cat.
You never know when they'll show up to knock the mic over or claw the revolution forward.
Sometimes both at once.
Like a bitchy Falstaff.
Louder than the tavern, messier than the crown.
In the end, Hormonally Yours achieves its thesis by giving us 2 women in the middle of reclamation.
Life-giving in every sense, literal through their pregnancies and figurative through their art.
Preach.
Siobhan and Marcella craft a record that embraces chaos, contradiction, and femininity not as something tidy,
Oh, no.
but as something alive.
It's a love letter to being messy, to letting the cracks show, and to claiming that mess as your siren song. King Lear has got nothing on these ladies.
And their influence, it rippled forward.
Right.
Garbage's Shirley Manson has cited Shakespeare's sister as formative.
Wow.
You can hear it in how she mixes vulnerability with venom.
Bjork has also name-dropped Hormonally Yours in interviews, particularly praising how they made electronic music feel organic and emotional rather than cold.
Bjork, wow.
In addition, Portishead's Beth Gibbons pointed to Stay as a masterclass in building tension without release. That 4-minute emotional marathon that never quite resolves.
Even newer artists like FKA Twigs and Grimes have mentioned Shakespeare's sister when discussing how to make pop music that doesn't apologize for being difficult or demanding.
The DNA is everywhere once you start listening for it.
Very much.
That refusal to choose between pretty and powerful, that insistence that femininity can be both nurturing and dangerous.
Instead of weakness, it signals power. Women refusing to collapse quietly, choosing instead to howl, to laugh, to seduce, and to create.
And for us, it all started with a cassette tape.
Right.
The kind of accident that leaves a door cracked open. One glimpse of a voice, and we never looked back.
From that moment, the hunger for more never left, and this album more than delivered. Like a sonnet from Dublin by way of Detroit.
Which brings us to the hammer and sickle rating, which would be
4 out of 5.
because this isn't just an album. It's its own chaotic revolution.
Shakespeare's sister cry out of the void for the world to notice, pleading and performing their hour on the stage.
It's sound and fury.
Signifying everything.
So, what did we learn today?
We learned that even a synth meow can claw its way onto a serious pop record and still sound iconic.
And we learned that those synth meows make Myron jump straight onto the keyboard mid-listen, which honestly only added to the chaos.
We learned that Andre is still a liar and probably owes us all money.
We learned that when Marcella Detroit takes you to the moon, Siobhan is waiting with a shovel to drag you back down through the floorboards, like old Nick.
And we learned that when a record ends with "turn your radio on," the least you can do is stop scrolling and actually listen.
But on a deeper note, this album shows us that music doesn't have to be neat or polite to matter.
Yep.
Chaos, contradiction, and camp can carry as much truth as any polished ballad.
It's unapologetic, it's alive, and it refuses to collapse quietly.
And, like every good Shakespearean play, we're ending this one with 3 ghosts, 2 clowns,
Here.
and a severed hand in a pie. If you want more of this, head to patreon.com/Cinemarchmedia.
Check it out.
Or visit us at www.cinemarchmedia.com.
This is Marxists at the Movies.
Bye.
Scene opens, white lights dim down low.
Thank you for listening to the Marxists at the Movies podcast.
Cinema whispers
Don't forget
where
to like
truths
and
can
comment.
grow. From shadows deep and screens ignite, the proletariat comes alive tonight. Tonight, Marxists at the movies, bright and raw, breaking through the reels to rewrite the law. Workers of the world in every frame, changing the credits, rewriting the name. Popcorn power and the working class dream. Each flickers with a revolutionary beam. The heroes rise from the factory floor, challenging the scripts and demanding more. Behind the velvet curtains lies the fight. Directors of destiny taking the light. The dialogue chimes with justice in stride. The proletariat walks where stars collide. Marxists at the movies, bright and raw, breaking through the reels to rewrite the law. Workers of the world in every frame, changing the credits, rewriting the name. Blockbusters topple in an epic
Copyright 2025,
embrace.
Cinemarch Media.